How's it going, guys? So today we are going to be creating this in Blender. It's really cool, and it is part of the series I'm doing here on YouTube about using Blender like it's Photoshop, like it's After Effects, and creating text effects, things on images, and this is a really cool one. First, we'll use the text tool, pick a font, get our text to say whatever we want it to, and then we can head into geometry nodes and distribute some points on that text. After that, it's pretty easy. We'll just do a small set of noise textures to displace it and then get some of the parts to displace and some of the parts to not displace so we can still read the text but get this really interesting displacement. After that, we will just use the noise texture to shade the particles and we'll be totally done. Here on YouTube, I have several other tutorials in this theme about using Blender like it's Photoshop, like it's After Effects, and running images and logos and text through it to make some cool stuff. So check out the playlist below for more tutorials in this theme. And over on Patreon, I have a couple exclusive tutorials in this series so you can learn even more stuff. Check out all that. And it's the end of the year, so you can get a discount on annual memberships now through January. All that linked in the description. With that being said, let's learn how to make this effect. All right, so let's start out in the text tool. So we're gonna hit Shift-A, click on text. Now, you don't have to use text. You can actually use anything you want. You noticed that you may have noticed in the thumbnail, there's the Blender logo. So you can use the Blender logo, like import an SVG, use literally any piece of geometry. I'm just using text because that's the theme here for this series, and you can do it with text. You can do it with anything, and the text is editable, which is really cool. So with that being said, I'm just going to type in all caps LO, return ST, and then I'm going to go here to the text tool, and then in the font, I'm going to go ahead and pick a nice sans serif. Right down here, I'm going to get the character spacing. Oops, no, sorry, the line spacing a little bit better. I'm going to scale this up, and then also here on the alignment, we'll do center and middle. And then I'm going to scale it up pretty big. And I'm going to hit Control A, apply scale. Scaling it up is going to affect the distribution of points. So your scene will probably look a little different than mine because I didn't scale this at exact measurements, but this is not an exact tutorial. You'll get the idea. Now that we have our text ready to go, I'm going to open up the geometry nodes tab. I'm going to just make my scene the way I like it. Also, I'm going to go over to the shading tab and make my scene the way I like it too, which that isn't working. There we go. So should this be my system defaults? Yes. Do I always forget to do it? Yes. Back to geometry nodes. So let's go ahead and put some points on this scene so we can get something looking really cool. So I'm going to click New in Geometry Nodes. And first we're going to need to get a distribute points on faces. Plug that there. And then once you bring up that density, you'll start to see whatever geometry you put it on, it start to be readable. Then we'll need to get a set point radius node, and then you can bring the points down. Now, on mine, my ending radius is 0.0009. That's really small. The thing about this effect is the smaller your points and the more dense you have points, so the more points and the smaller they are, the better this effect will look. Because it starts to look like dust. That's kind of the idea here. So the more dust-like your scene looks, the better your glow is going to look, the better the color is going to smooth out. Everything benefits from it being denser and the points being smaller. So it's really going to be a give and take of what you are willing to put your computer through. But I'm going to give myself 10,000 on the density. Now that does not mean I have 10,000 particles. That's just the density number. I don't know how many particles I have. It's a lot. So now that we have this, we can go ahead and get a set position node and start to displace these particles around. So we're going to use I'm going to hit Shift-A and search noise texture, and make sure that you uncheck normalize and use color. If you use factor, it's not going to displace the particles on all axes. It's going to basically do it on like a diagonal because it's combining all the normals, the axes basically. So plug that into offset and you're going to get this. I have found this specific effect looks really good if you bring your roughness up a little bit. Again, you want it to be very dust-like. and then leaving everything else default, I think. Okay, and this is all editable later. So now we have this. What I want to do is figure out how to get only portions of the text to have this effect on it. And then we're going to get a vector math node and set that to scale, and that is going to decide how strong this effect is going to be. Again, so I want some of the text to be this, some of the text to be that. How do we do that? That is going to be with a mix vector node. So now what I want to do is use a texture to go some portions of this text to look like that, some to look like that. And if you have a little bit of experience with things like that, it's going to be with the factor slot. So we need to get another noise texture, and we need to get a RGB curves node. And I'm just going to go ahead and flip the curves, plug color into color. Make sure you click, actually, I'll show you why you need to do that. So if we do this, it kind of looks like we're back. If you click on normalize, it's going to sort of flatten some portions out. And then what you can do is bring up the scale of that. And then if you want to be able to edit how this looks, you can play with the curve and just play around with it. So this is going to sort of zero some things out. I'm going to leave it kind of at default. This is just an option for you to edit things if you would like to. Then we can bring up the scale here. And then if you switch over to 4D on this noise texture, you can decide where on this scene, where on this text you want the displacement to happen. Again, you can bring the scale down, so it's just portions of it. I'm going to bring the scale up a little bit so it looks a little bit like this. And there we go. We have some pretty cool stuff that we can now go ahead and add materials to. So what I'm going to do is get a set material node right over here in the material section. I'm going to click new on principled, switch it over to emission, if I can find it. And then just go ahead and grab it there. We are going to be using cycles for this scene, and then you can see, okay, it's working. Cool. I'm going to bring my world brightness down to black. And then before we head into the shading workspace, we need to go ahead and grab some information. So we need to get a store named attribute, because I want the noise texture that is affecting the particles. I want to be able to use it to drive color. So what we can do is this noise texture right here, plug color right into value of the store named attribute, and I'm just going to call this in for noise. Now I can head to the shading workspace, and then I'm just going to go to the cycles view, and I'm going to get the attribute node, and I'm going to type in for noise and plug factor into color, and you can see, great, it's working. So one thing I want to do is first get a math node so I can play with the value of the texture, because I want to be able to control a little bit of the placement of the color. And then I'm going to get a color ramp. And then what we're going to do is I'm just going to get this node here to be nice and bright and a little bit blue. And then I'm going to get another node, place it here, get another one here. So this is where we're going to start to add kind of this fiery look. So I'm going to go something like that, and then him be really nice and red. Okay, cool. And then you can play with that, and then we can bring this color back to just sort of border, to kind of border the effect, something like this. Okay, so we can have some fun like that. Now, like I mentioned, the more particles and the smaller they are, the better this looks, because this looks very blobby. It can look cool, and it will look cool. First, here in the compositing tab right up here, I'm going to click new. I'm going to get a glare node, set it to bloom. So if we go back to shading, I'm going to go over here and click always. Now this is an emission node, so if we bring it up, okay, it's glowing. That's great. What I want is the red portions to glow, not the white portions. And so what you can do is get a map range and then plug the factor into the map range and plug that into strength. And so it's going to do that. You can see how it's zeroing out the emission to the parts of this that you want to glow. And again, if you want more control over that, you can get a math node to say, no, I only want this portion to glow. So we'll bring to minimum a value of 1. The to minimum controls that. The to maximum controls this. So now you can see how that works. So you can get only like portions of this to glow. You can have some fun. But I want to demonstrate how getting more particles and smaller particles do have a huge effect on how good this is going to look. So if we go back to the geometry nodes tab, I'm going to go here to the render view and get my glow. This is how it looks, right? If I go ahead and get my point radius to be like 0.001, actually it's too small, 0.005, it's already looking better. And then if we go ahead and give it a density, right now it's a density of 1,000. I'm gonna go, actually no, sorry, 10,000. We're gonna go 50,000. Pretty cool. I'm gonna bring my roughness up on the effect, and then we can just play around with the W until we get something that we like. And so I'm going to say bring the roughness up some more to make it look a little bit more cloudy. Even the detail maybe up to 5. Bring that roughness down. Maybe bring that detail to 2 again. So we have some options. And then you can see how this effect looks a little better. And then maybe I'm going to bring my radius down to 0.002. There we go. So that's when we start to really get some really cool looking effects. When we bring down the point size. And then if we go back to shading, I'm going to bring up that max on the map range. And again, even the glow tends to look better and not be overwhelming the points that are glowing. And that is how we create this. Now, can you animate it? Yes, you can. At this point, it's going to be hard to animate it in the viewport in terms of like being able to view it because it's really heavy. So if you want to animate it, go back to geometry nodes and lower the density. So right now mine's at 50,000. I'm going to go back to like 10,000. And then you can look at a couple options for animation. I'm going to click on my points here. So you have a couple options for animation. You have this noise texture here. So I can switch it over to 4D and it will animate. Let's see, maybe it'll animate here. So even if we can look at it, it will animate within this region here, and you can see that moving around. You can also animate the placement of where the displacement is happening on the text with this W here. So you can have some fun with that. If you want it to stay there, to me, it feels like it makes sense. It's like this portion of the text is on fire. So to me, it makes sense. What you can do is get a position node and a vector math node. Just plug these together, plug this into the vector. This becomes a position. So you can play with the position and it starts to look like it's kind of like it's burning, and you can play with the position of this. So as this slowly moves, this can slowly move too. So you can animate the two of them together. So that's one option. Again, you could just do this. You can play with the W, again, like it's just sitting there burning, which to me, animating him looks better than animating him. But you can do any of them, and it's just adding a keyframe to the W. So this can loop. And then one more thing you can do for animation is if I hold down Shift and right click, you can get a vector math node. And remember how when we were playing with the color, you can use a math node to bring in and out the color. You can also do that with the math node itself. So if I bring down my density to 10,000, you can animate in and out this effect. So there, again, one more thing that you can do to animate it. And this is actually quite cool. It's a pretty cool transition. And then what I would say is, as this is growing, animate the W of the noise texture to give it, this life. I much prefer this as like a still image. That was sort of the idea when I first created this, I'll call it design, was as an image for, I don't know, title sequence, book cover, website, album cover, literally whatever you want to do for text, you can do with this effect. And it's just going to come down to picking a really cool spot to add the effect, bringing up your density, and saying, all right, this is now ready to be rendered. That is how you do this. My computer's screaming at me, but with this idea of using Blender like it's After Effects, like it's Photoshop, this is a super useful and versatile trick. So thank you guys for watching. Again, there is more exclusive content in this series on Patreon, so you can check that out. And annual memberships are discounted for the new year, so you can check that out, linked in the description. And I'll see you guys in the next one.